Hey everyone, happy Friday. This is Pastor David coming to you today. Just want to spend a couple minutes studying one of my favorite passages in the Psalms. Our world is very busy and our world is very chaotic, and it feels like lots of turmoil and lots of confusion and things circling around us. But one of my favorite passages in Psalms is chapter 46, where kind of a similar scenario, right? We're talking about how great God is, how wonderful it is to be in his refuge and his strength. Then we get to the moment in verse 6 where we talk about the nations raging and the kingdoms going crazy. But then we get verse 10, which says, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." I think that's such a great thing to be thinking about today, especially as news broke this week that we may not be able to come back together for several more weeks than we were anticipating, that things are going to drag out another few more days, and so on and so forth. We're seeing people storm state capitals all over the place, and we're seeing lots of late night talk show hosts going after those people. We're seeing news people going after those people. We're seeing people defending those people, and so on and so forth. And it just seems chaotic. And it just seems so busy. And even in our own lives, even though we're at home and we're not, like, our schedules are really messed up, somehow, some way we're filling it with time. Hopefully it's good time. Hopefully it's good things, but not always is that the case. And even like the way we're worshiping right now, like I check into my YouTube quite frequently, and there's this live stream going on, and this worship video posted, and this sermon going on, and this and that, and it's great, and that's awesome. And for the first time, we're seeing incredible numbers of online presence with the church, but it's chaotic, it's cluttered. And in the midst of that, and even in the midst of worship of chapter 46 of Psalms, we get verse 10, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us, the God of Jacob, our fortress." But see, we only come to realize that God is for us, God is with us, God is victorious when we're still. One of the hardest things in our world is to just be still. And here we are in 2020, and we're into a time of what we're forced into stillness. And yet, I don't know about you, but my mind and my heart, they're not still. Somehow they're busier as a pastor. I was reading statistics the last several days about how churches and pastors are way more stressed out and way more busy, and it's taking much more time and effort than ministry ever has, and the fatigue factor that can bring to us. And I read a great article that was talking about this, and it said, but the reality is we're talking about what we're doing, not what we're supposed to be. And God tells us what we're supposed to be, and that's to be still. When is the last time, even in the midst of this crisis, you poured yourself a cup of coffee or tea or whatever, and you just sat and you just thought, and you just thought about the wonders of God, and you just thought about his word, and you just thought about who he is? When was the last time you were able to be still and know that he is God? That he is going to be exalted among the nations? It's a hard thing, and a lot of times I think people look to these devotionals and these videos and things and be like, okay, give me like 3 things I can work on today. I'm not even going to tell you to work on anything. I'm actually going to tell you to stop working on things. I want you just to be still and know that he is God. That he is going to be exalted among the nations. He's going to be exalted in all the earth. It's good to be busy. It's good to do work. It's good to do things. But in the midst of these moments, it's also good to just sit at our Father's feet. One of my favorite worship songs, the lyrics go, "I want to sit at your feet, drink from the cup in your hand, lay back against you and breathe, feel your heartbeat. This love, it's so deep, it's more than I can stand. I melt in your peace, it's overwhelming." When is the last time you melted in God's peace? When is the last time you imagined yourself sitting at your Heavenly Father's feet, laying back against him like you did as a kid to your parents, and you felt loved, and you felt nurtured, and you felt comforted? When is the last time you just paused for just a couple of minutes to just think about that? Well, I want to encourage you on this Friday as we come before yet another empty sanctuary weekend. Just be still and know that he is God. He will be exalted amongst the nations. Amen.